Hello televiewers, and thanks so much for joining us this morning once again on the program The Brief, which is dedicated to the review of striking headlines in the papers. On today's edition of the program, we are looking at the audience at the Presidency of the Republic yesterday by the President of the Union of Comoros Island, who was in Cameroon to take part in the opening ceremony of the AFCON Total Energies 2021. We shall equally look at the death that has hit the SDF party once again. In this time around, we are talking about Senator Barrister Henry Kemende, who was reportedly shot dead yesterday night in Bamenda. We shall equally tell you about what is also happening in the northwest or in the southwest region of the country regarding the Anglophone crisis and what experts are saying as way forward in resolving the crisis. Bomotonguina, Gwladys is here as usual, and let's find out what the French newspapers equally gather for us this morning. Bonjour Gwladys.
Bonjour Lasha, bonjour à vous et merci de rester fidèle encore en ce jour à votre émission de brief, votre émission de revue de presse bilingue sur ma Media Prime Télévision. Alors effectivement, la presse écrite francophone est focalisée ce matin sur le phénomène des stades vides lors des compétitions de la CAN au Cameroun. Alors nous allons débuter simplement avec le journal Le Messager, lui qui nous parle de la CAN Total Énergie 2021, le syndrome des stades vides. Si le public a pris d'assaut les travées d'Olembe lors du match d'ouverture à Kwekang, au stade Amadou Ahidjo à Yaoundé, à Japoma, voire Garoua, ils ont répondu abonnés absents. Les détails sont en page 11 de ce journal. En page 10, le journal nous parle du père Sylvestre Olivier Eves parlant des compétiteurs qui s'éloignent de Dieu. En page 4, le journal Le Messager nous parle de 744 milliards de francs CFA de déficit en 2021, parlant de la balance commerciale dans ce pays. Alors, nous continuons ce matin toujours avec Le Messager qui nous parle en page 9 de l'église évangélique du Cameroun. Les laïcs Sawa traînent l'EEC en justice. Les mobiles de cette action judiciaire contenus dans une déclaration signée lundi. Vous aurez tous les détails en page 9 du Messager. Nous continuons ce matin avec le journal La CAN de l'intégration. Lui aussi nous parle de la CAN Total Énergie, le casse-tête des stades vides. Enquête sur un phénomène inattendu qui pourrait donner de grains à moudre aux distributeurs d'événements sportifs comme des destructeurs de cet événement sportif. Des pistes pour rendre la compétition populaire. Nous continuons toujours avec le journal La CAN de l'intégration qui nous parle en page 3 des Nigériens de Bamenda qui ont bravé la peur des séparatistes pour supporter l'équipe du Nigeria face à l'Égypte. Alors ce matin, nous terminons avec le journal lui qui nous ramène, qui nous parle des villes de Yaoundé et Douala, le revers de la CAN, pour parler des casses, des embouteillages, des perturbations des activités scolaires et commerciales. La compétition apporte son lot de désagréments. Les détails sont en page 4 et 5 de ce journal. En page 9, le journal nous parle des marchés des titres. Cameroun, objectif 180 milliards de francs CFA. Mesdames, Messieurs, c'est ici que nous nous arrêtons pour cette revue de presse en langue française. Place à la découverte de ces journaux en langue anglaise avec toi, Lasha.
Thank you, Bomotonguina. Gwladys, let's kickstart this morning with the Voice newspaper. The Voice newspaper this morning on the Anglophone crisis. The paper is relaying the message of Tebong Nagy regarding the ongoing socio-political upheavals in the two English-speaking regions of Cameroon. The paper quotes him as saying, intense international pressure needed to resolve Anglophone crisis. Tebong Nagy was speaking in a media outing recently regarding what needs to be done for the crisis in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon to come to an end. And AFCON 2021, Yaoundé vibrates, anxiety in Limbe. Yaoundé, that was host to the opening ceremony of the AFCON 2021. That was on Sunday, according to the paper, vibrated, and anxiety in Limbe as Limbe hosts first match today. More details in this edition of the Voice newspaper. And the Voice newspaper is also telling us this morning that Professor Ngam confidence has said political elites have been reduced or have reduced Cameroonians academicians to beggars. That most of Cameroonian academicians that we have been reduced to beggars by political elites. More details about what the professor said in this edition of the Voice newspaper. On to Cameroon Tribune. Cameroon Tribune is interested in the audience yesterday at the Unity Palace granted the president of the Union of Comoros, as we are told, the president who came to Cameroon to take part in the opening ceremony of the AFCON Total Energies 2021, and also to support his nation or his national team that is taking part in this competition, was guest at the presidency of the Republic yesterday. He equally went to congratulate President Paul Biya for his efforts in ensuring that AFCON 2021 is a total success in Cameroon. More details on pages 2 through 4 of this edition of the set newspaper. AFCON Total Energies 2021 still upsets already defending champions Algeria, where yesterday, January 11, 2022, held to a 0-0 tie by Sierra Leone at the Japoma Stadium in Douala. Meanwhile, Nigeria edged favorites Egypt 1-0 in an epic match in Garoua. Limbe takes the relay today. You can read more details of the special AFCON pages or coverage of Cameroon Tribune on pages 7 through 16 of this edition of the set newspaper. Let's talk about financing the economy, successful innovation of local banks. The paper is telling us that thanks to the mechanism of federating local banks to acquire government bonds on the Biaka money markets, Cameroon raised CFA 68 billion last Monday. It was the first attempt in Central Africa. Details on, or more details on pages or page 17 of this edition of the National Bilingual Daily Cameroon Tribune. We end with the Guardian Post newspaper. The Guardian Post is focusing on the problems at the level of the Ambazonia interim government. The Ambazonia interim government crisis worsens, according to the Guardian Post newspaper. Sako Ikome fires Chris Anu as communications secretary for abandoning office, and sacked Anu creates a parallel TV channel to expose Sako's shady deals. More details in this edition of the Guardian Post newspaper. We are told equally by the Guardian Post newspaper that firebrand SDF supporter Nembom Munju dies, and she was she had worked for the Cameroon radio television, as we are told before. She quit the scene. She was a communication officer at the Social Democratic Front Party, as we are told by the set newspaper. And equally in the Guardian Post newspaper, customers or customs department boss lots of brilliant performance of custom in the northern part of the country. You can get more details about the performance or the brilliant performance of the custom departments in 2021 in the northern region of the country, only in this edition of the Guardian Post newspaper. Custom Board Fongot said recently that the custom department in the north region had performed so well in 2021. We are back in the studio to continue with our discussions this morning, but we'll first of all begin with this sad news of the death of Senator Barrister Kemende Henry, who was shot dead in Bamenda. That was yesterday, and the senator he was shot by armed men whose origin are still to be ascertained as we speak now. Before we dive into serious discussion, let us first of all revisit some of his outings at the Upper House of Parliament, where he stood for the truth and justice. If the videos are ready, let's have the videos, Christain.
Council meeting on Monday. To this effect, And they are just waiting. I told them, I calmed them, I told them as a politician, I told them to hold on. That we have one last man standing, and that last man standing is this honorable house, is this Senate. And that the Senate, matter of seasoned statesmen, will advise the minister on this bill as far as continuous erosion of the domain of the operation of the lawyer is concerned. Whereas the law on lawyers, 1990 law, gives the lawyer the monopoly of representation before any constituted authority. Lastly, as far as this bill is concerned, Your Excellency, having regard to the fact that in 1990, the head of state, in his magnanimity, opened up, created liberal professions. Amongst the professions, you have those of accountants. They are the accountants who prepare the records that appear before the tax litigation will appear before the tax litigation tomorrow. But today, as far as this bill is concerned, the accountants, the contables, they have been taken out of business as far as this law is concerned. They have no role to play. Whereas these same accountants are the ones who train elements of your ministry on how to carry out with their controls of tax records. Is a tax litigant going to feel comfortable to have state officials representing them before the tax litigation, both present and past? That is not, it defeats the purpose for which the liberty laws were put in place in 1990.
That was the late Senator Barrister Henry Kemende there. That's some of his outing at the Upper House of Parliament. We are equally receiving sad news that Barrister Ivo Enonju has been shot. He has been shot and rushed to the hospital. And equally, the Fon of Buchi in Pinyi has been killed, and his corpse is still lying at the junction. Those are just some of the sad news coming in from the northwest region of the country. And equally, there were gunshots or serious gunshots in Munya, in Buya, southwest region of the country. So many sad news this morning. Maitre Alex is joining us once again this morning from London. Maitre, so many sad news. Senator Barrister Kemende Henry, and now we are having breaking news few minutes ago that a phone in Pinyi has been shot dead and his corpse is still lying at the junction. Is it really what Anglophones bargained for? Is it what you guys bargained for when you said you are fighting for the rights of Anglophones?
Yeah, this is good morning and thank you for this impromptu call. And however, I'm always ready to give my own contribution to the people of Cameroon. And it saddens me, this is what I'm saying. Some of you call some people, how do you call them, that they are Ambazonians? They are criminal syndicates who hijack from Godi Dinka's movement. I've never called them, they are not Ambazonians. I am telling you, these people are against the lawyers, the teachers that started this struggle. If you are fighting the people who started this struggle, then who are you fighting? I heard you also mentioned the name of Barrister Ivo. He was a class behind me in CPC Bari. I know him very well. It saddens me to see people are attacking people who are fighting for them. This so-called Ambazonia today, I don't know where they come from, because we know we started this struggle because of lawyers and teachers and Boya University students who have been beaten. Also, it saddens me that a senator too was also killed. So I want to ask this Facebook government, who are you fighting? Where were you guys when we started this struggle? It started since 1990. If we were killing this so-called Ambazonia today in the early 90s, they wouldn't have been talking today because they were working for the government, most of them, when we used to fight. I'm asking again, who are they fighting? Which government are they representing on Facebook? It is very dangerous. You cannot start something that you cannot stop. I told them 5 years ago, you are creating a Frankenstein monster, and we are seeing it today. You said the Fon of Pinyin. Who is next? Who are they going to kill tomorrow? These people are so dangerous. But the problem is we have a weak government. A government that's supposed to maintain law and order, they cannot do it. A government that has a function and duty as national security, they cannot do it. Above all, everything that is happening, the buck stop with the government of Cameroon, the do-nothing government that is not fit to govern a country.
Maitre, so what is the way forward? Because it saddens me to hear the way you speak. I'm equally bitter. So what is the way forward?
The way forward is simple. The government must start governing. What I say, I am not hiding it. These guys who call themselves Ambazonian and they have the government in the diaspora, they are not Ambazonian. I know Gwladys, he's a learned barrister, a respectable person. He is non-violent. They have hijacked his organization because of money, money, money. Mr. Bia should get his act right. And if Mr. Bia wants to make sure that this criminal syndicate called Ambazonian government in the diaspora, if Mr. Bia wants to make sure that they can arrest these people, I will help Mr. Bia. It is very easy. The laws of extradition are very clear. It's Mr. Bia who sits there and see Anglophones killing themselves, and he sits in A2D and say, let them fight and kill each other. Mr. Bia can stop this. If he wants to arrest this guy, I can help him. I'm a lawyer. I can do that. It is very easy. But Mr. Bia doesn't want to do it. He sits in A2D. All of them, they sit there, let them fight. Anglophones are killing Anglophones. Dog mentality. And for us, Anglophone, we sit back and look how they are killing our own people. If these people who call themselves Ambazonians, if they believe in Ambazonia, they should be behind Gwladys. They shouldn't be behind criminals. People who have never cared about Anglophone. These people have never. I have a history. The Muna, Pafoncha, Mr. Ndanga, all these people we used to fight in Cameroon peacefully with Dr. Muzu. Then Anyange was there, Barrister Edgard. We were not killing people. It has been hijacked because people can go along now and make money and do what they want to do.
Is it not a big blow? Is it not a big blow to the government of the Republic of Cameroon? A senator of the Republic shot dead like a nobody.
I made it clear from the beginning that there is a do-nothing government, a government that is not fit for purpose, a government that cannot rule a country, a government that sits there only to embezzle taxpayers' money. I made that clear. If the government is tired after being in power since 1966 under one-party system, CNU rebranded CPTM, the government to let go. It is a country. The people are sovereign. We are tired. We cannot be using fake democracy in order to defend the indefensible.
Okay, Gwladys.
J'ai une question pour vous, maître. Si effectivement, comme vous êtes en train de le dire, les Amba Boys, comme on les appelle, ne sont pas pour l'Ambazonie ou ne travaillent pas pour l'Ambazonie, alors pour qui est-ce qu'ils travaillent? Parce qu'on a l'impression que les populations dont ils étaient supposés protéger ne les protègent pas. Donc, pour qui est-ce que ces soi-disant, entre guillemets, Amba Boys travaillent-ils?
C'est des bandits. Si tu donnes l'argent pour les gens là, ils vont faire ce qu'ils vont faire. Quand il y a le deuil au Cameroun, ils demandent l'argent aux anglophones. Est-ce que tu luttes pour les anglophones? C'est le bandit, il faut que tout le monde dise ça.
Mais pour qui est-ce qu'ils travaillent? Ça bénéficie à qui? Qui prend avantage de ça? C'est le trésor de guerre de qui?
C'est les individus. Il y a des gens qui ont beaucoup d'argent, les ambabos, ils trouvent l'argent là où? C'est des bandits. Il y a des gens qui avaient dit qu'il faut qu'on fasse le nord-ouest et sud-ouest ungovernable. C'est qui sont en train de souffrir? C'est nos peuples. Si tu es là, tu ne peux pas dire que tu fais l'endroit être ungovernable.
Maître, let us look at this issue from the diplomatic prism. Most of these guys are operating from abroad, supposed country friends of Cameroon. And does it mean that the laws are so ambiguous that they cannot interpret it and make sure that these guys are extradited back to Cameroon to face justice if they are guilty?
The problem is the government of Cameroon doesn't want to spend money. It is ABC to extradite these people to Cameroon. It is very simple. All you need to do is to spot them, get their names, the alleged crime, and send it to whatever justice department in the country. That country will look at it and see if there's evidence, and they will see if they will have fair trial in Cameroon. That will be the only point of dispute to my experience. And once they look at it, it's up to them now to say we are sending these guys to Cameroon. But the government, it's up to the government of Cameroon to make that demand. It's not up to the host country. So that's a fact. So the government is the problem.
Okay, the government is a problem. And does it mean that what we have in Cameroon has not reached the level that the international community can come in, even if the government, because as at now, the government is not accepting that there is war in the northwest and southwest. They still look at it to be an operation to maintain peace and order.
Yeah, whether you look at this as resistant criminality or whatsoever, the government is absent. The government is not existing in the life of the people.
Why is the international community silent? You are an international lawyer. Are there not international instruments that could be used by lawyers, international lawyers like you, probably to compel the international community of Cameroon to bow, to accept what is happening in the northwest and intervene rightly?
The problem is the government is sovereign and the people of the country are also sovereign. So a person like myself, individual, I cannot go in a country and start telling the government what to do. Government look for experts. We have a problem today in Cameroon. There's insecurity. It's up to the government of Cameroon to say that this is what I want. But the government doesn't care. That's why I feel sorry for my brothers and sisters in the northwest and southwest region.
Is the international community not seeing what is happening in Cameroon?
The problem is when we talk about international community, I'm not a fan of international community. I wouldn't go to the people who colonized us, who promoted apartheid, who enslaved us to come and help us. That's my starting point. I believe us Africans, we have to learn to start talk among each other. The Western country, they have the same thing. Mr. Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of UK, is in trouble today. He might even resign, but they solve their problem among them. Africa and babies. We have intelligent people. With all due respect to Mr. Tebong, I've looked at him, he was born in Hungary. And I've looked at his credentials. It's not too much for me, but every time they say something about him, it went viral. Why? Because he's white skin, he's a Caucasian. The problem is us Africans who don't learn how to respect our own people, who don't respect our own intellectuals. I want to see Cameroonians talking with Cameroonians, Africans talking with Africans. You cannot be going and asking the people who colonize us, the people who destroy Africa. They have their interests. The biggest law on the universe is national interest. Is America gaining from Cameroon at the present under President Biya? Yes. Is France gaining there? Yes. Is Britain gaining from Cameroon? Yes. So why do they want a change of government? They don't want it because they are getting what they want. Okay,
thank you, Maitre, for your presence this morning. After a short notice, we got to you at short notice. Thank you for honoring our invitation. It was necessary that you give your input regarding some of the issues that just came up in the country last night and this morning. Thank you so much, Maitre.
Thank you. You're welcome and have a great day. God bless you.
Thank you to televiewers of My Media Prime Television for watching this edition of the program, which was produced for us by Christain Tebong. We were Bomotonguina, Gwladys, and myself, Lasha. Tomorrow is another day. Bye-bye.